There's a romantic vision of what we think of in terms of higher education. You know, there's the leafy quad, the neo-Gothic buildings, the fall football weekends. We really have this vision in the US of what higher education is. But in reality, this is what higher education, this is what's happening on colleges and universities. 4 in 5 students report to researchers that they're drifting through college, that they don't kind of know what they're there for or why they're there. A third of students now transfer at least once before they graduate to a different institution. And increasingly, by the way, they're reverse transferring. They're transferring from 4-year institutions to 2-year institutions. And every year, 400,000 students are dropping out of higher education. I've asked students, and then I've asked employers, what they value most in their education. And you know, many students didn't really talk about their major much. They didn't talk about specific classes. They talked a lot more about professors, individual professors who were true mentors. They talked about experiences in study abroad. And they talked about experiences, whether they were in internships or co-ops or other workplace experiences. And then, as I matched that up with what employers said that they wanted in graduates, I've come to the conclusion that maybe too much of our focus is on kind of the current way we have set up institutions in terms of majors. And that in some ways, the future should be more about the experiences that students are accumulating. And those experiences really are around faculty mentors, undergraduate research, which in talking to employers and looking at various employer surveys rank very high among the experiences that they like their undergraduates coming in the door with, and a global experience. And if you add, these are the things that over and over again I heard from both current students and recent college graduates as things that they valued in their undergraduate years. And it's not necessarily about their major or the other experiences that they had, but the fact that they had courses where they can really get to know faculty members, that they were able to participate in research in a real way, and that they had a global experience. And then underlying all of this was the ability to be creative, to take risks, and learn how to fail. And again, when I've been talking to employers about what they value, and we could talk a little bit more about this maybe in the Q&A, because there is somewhat of a disconnect sometimes between the CEO of a company and who's actually doing the hiring. But what I heard a lot over and over again was this ability to teach students to be creative, to take risks, and to learn how to fail. And by the way, when you add up all those things, they really, to me, say, hey, a liberal arts education is very valuable. Because you notice that I didn't talk about specific majors, whether they were, especially if they were more vocational majors in any way. But this idea of really, of experiences kind of capturing the future of higher education. And so when you add all this together, the fact that you could have a more flexible experience, just think about what this can do to both the calendar, to the academic calendar, to credits, and to this idea of having a much more adaptive curriculum. This idea of infusing our thinking about personalizing the experience in a way where all of this is unbundled and much more personalized for students in the future.